We're off to a wild start, but
Game ovaries, I guess.
yeah, that'll be the podcast
See
title.
what you did there. Game ovaries.
That's what he said. That's why.
I like that.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, what an intro. Okay, welcome to Tac'd with Spencer P. Today, I got my buddy Cedric Park with me.
We've been running the whole time.
Yeah, we have been. It's all good. We'll get to it. I just wanted to bring him in and get his takes on what's been going on lately, who we should keep an eye on, what he thinks we need to know about. This is your first introduction, so we'll get a little background on you. You grow up here in the Tac'd?
Yeah, Lakewood.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of grew up everywhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What all does everywhere entail?
Well, shit. I went to Foster the first 2 years of high school. Then I went to Wilson for the last 2 years. I went to Hunt in Tacoma. Went to Southgate Elementary.
Where's that at?
That's over off. I want to say it's 100th and it's over by 100th and South Tacoma Way.
Oh, okay.
Kinda, I think.
And you were moving each time.
It's tucked away in this weird ass
Yeah,
area.
That's too far out for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been.
It's
out
over
there.
by the adult bookstore. That's as you're coming
Elmo's.
down. Yeah,
yeah,
Elmo's.
I do know that. Right
So
next to the Grand Prix racing track.
So if you're coming down Elmo's, that street, that windy road,
okay,
that weird turn off South Tacoma Way,
100th Street.
It's off the left over there.
All right, I know exactly. I do know what you're talking about.
And then I went to Geiger for a little bit too.
Oh,
so,
sweet.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm all over.
Nice.
All over. I grew up in the Drake Apartments, bro. So.
Oh, okay. Off in.
Off Hosmer.
Oh, okay. I wasn't even close. That's why I didn't say the street name. I'm like, I actually don't think I know what I'm talking about. What was some of your favorite parts of growing up in Tacoma? Like any landmarks or, I don't know, the zoo or something like that?
Growing up in Tacoma, man, it's just nice because everyone was kind of, as we were just kind of talking, I just realized I didn't have no Mason homies growing up. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, but other than that, where everyone was pretty diverse. You had the Truman homies in middle school. You went to Hunt, Jason Lee.
Yeah.
A lot of homies from Jason Lee. Obviously in high school too, it was everyone intermingled, especially with me going to two different schools. So I think honestly, just the people in general and the connections and the networking that's happened over the last 20 years of life.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I always thought that was pretty cool. There was no boundary lines between schools and stuff like that. I went to Stadium for 1 year. I got kicked out of Wilson. Went to Stadium for 1 year. My dad lives out in Northeast, so I got kicked out of my mom's house and sent over there. Mm-hmm. And then, it was actually super easy to bridge the gap between the two homies. If we had the Northeast homies and then the North End homies, meshed like butter. Yep. It was easy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then, so what'd you do after high school? What'd you start getting into?
Let's see. So after high school, man, I took the first quarter off of college, I guess you could say. Kicked it. I grew up working at the YMCA off Pearl Street, Morgan Y.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of my time was spent there. So I was pretty much either working or shooting hoops or working and lifting weights and whatnot. So went to college for a little bit. Went down to Portland Community College. Lived on a campus though. I lived on the University of Portland campus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I had my cousin went to that university. Called me and he was like, "Hey, come down to do JUCO down here or something, and you can live in the house with us and kick it." So I got to not pay university tuition and go to school, and then I got to kick it with university people.
So were you studying anything at the school?
At the school, yeah, I was doing business management.
Oh, okay.
Was the course. Obviously, I was doing my AA at first, but that was the direction and the prerequisites that I was kind of getting into was business management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And that all went well?
No, that actually went south, man. I ended up I lost one of my best friends that first year being down there. Him and his girl came and visited me, and then they went back that very next weekend, and his car fell on top of his head. In Gig Harbor.
No.
Yeah, he was a Gig Harbor
working
dude.
on it?
Yeah, he was working on his Subaru. He just bought an STI back when the bug eyes were real popular.
Dude, that has always been one of my biggest fears.
Yeah, so Always use jack stands.
Always use
jack stands. Because that was the mistake he made, is didn't use one.
It just shifted?
Yeah, it just shifted. And
man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Simple bolt-on exhaust and stuff. I mean, it's part of life, man. So it's... Obviously, it was so long ago, so that kind of put me...
Unfortunately, someone has to learn the lesson for you to learn the lesson.
But not even that, just like, you know, at a very young age, learning about how... to cope with that kind of stuff, you know, like growing up, I didn't have a lot of people pass per se, right until like right out of high school. Oh, okay. Yeah, so like I had people just drop, boom, 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 boom. So I just mentally couldn't take it. So I ended up moving back home. My mom had just called me like a couple weeks prior to me moving home, told me that she got a job in Vegas, moved to Vegas. I got moved back
Fresh
home.
Start.
Yeah, moved back home, stayed in the townhouse we were renting for like 3 months solo, bro. 19, 20 years old.
Oh, man.
Own little pad.
Good deal.
Kicking it, yeah. So, yeah, life was good. Kind of got back on the pathway and went back to working at the Y and... Yeah, just kicked it.
That's awesome. So is your mom still out in Las Vegas?
Yeah, bro.
Dude, and she's doing well out there?
Doing real well, yeah.
Las Vegas. So I'm guessing she doesn't live on the Strip. She lives outside of the Strip?
Yeah. Yep.
I've had a couple of buddies who went out there and like looked at property. Like, you can get a lot of house for a little money out there.
I mean, it's actually booming a lot more now than ever, which is kind of scary because, you know, like that's in the mindset as an investor or someone who wants to spend money into something and make more off of it, such as, you know, ourselves. I started looking into it and I was like, damn, this is almost getting close to what our prices used to be before housing market started to rise here. So
really? They're starting to get into that.
Yeah, they're starting to get into that 300, 400K for, you know, older homes that have been definitely need some love, and you're not getting that piece of dirt no more with this brand new home like you used to.
He went and did a tour and did like a 15-20 minute live of the whole thing, like crazy. What are those the pools?
The infinity pools?
Infinity pool, and like, dude, it was massive mansion, all this stuff, like great view. It was like $600,000. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, that'd be an easy like 1.8, 2.3 out here or something like that.
Simple, easy, yeah.
So they're starting to move up that way. Yeah, honestly, like I know before COVID and everything, places like, I don't know about Houston specifically, but Texas and Georgia and like, you know, places in the South, like, or even like Flint, you could get a house for like $2,000 or something like that. Like it's been crazy. So I haven't checked in on none of that since before the pandemic, but I have to imagine, like, my sister, she's in real estate, and she's been saying, like, it's pretty common to expect getting $100K over your asking price. The market is just insane. I don't pay enough attention to the housing market. I honestly, like, we just had my buddy Chase on here a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about real estate and the market, and I was trying to get him to convince me on why I should buy a house, and I'm still not fully convinced. He did get me, though. He got me on a gotcha. But I thought about it. So he goes, because I was telling him, I'm like, you know, I don't have any interest in owning a house. There's a lot that comes with owning a house. Like, I'm a business builder. Like, I got shit to do. I can't be focusing on that kind of stuff. And he's like, well, would you ever lease a car? And, like, just right off the rip, I said no, before I even think about it. And he's like, well, then why would you rent a home? And I'm like, oh, fuck, he got me on camera. But like, I went home and I thought about it. I'm like, well, you know what? Actually, I would probably lease a car. If you could get a brand new car every year and not have to worry about maintenance, you're going to have a payment, you know, if you buy anything, unless you're paying cash for it, you're going to have a payment for it. So maybe I'm not as opposed to leasing a car as I thought I was. Yeah.
Now, see that, like, for me, I love the fact that he got you on a, you know, like a aha moment type thing, but using a car and a home are complete opposites. So that one's kind of tough because a home you can gain value and equity. Obviously, you can lose it too.
Right.
But on a car, the moment you drive it off the lot, that shit ain't worth nothing.
Right.
Right. Unless obviously there happens to be an economy situation like we are somewhat in.
Right.
To where manufacturers aren't making vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Right. Plants are shutting. They shut down in the beginning of the pandemic to where. I mean, Mercedes was calling me almost every other week talking about, hey, are you interested in trading in your car and upgrading something? Because their inventory wasn't leaving because they didn't have any used cars either. Because not everyone can afford to just buy off their lot like that. So using a car is a little bit tougher, but even then, man, as a business owner and a flipper, and not even a flipper, but just like wanting to do business, you can use your home as money.
Right. That is about the only reason that I like. That's the one thing that the only reason I would be interested in owning a home at this point. Yeah. And
plus, man, do you ever when you want to keep moving your family?
No. But I haven't had to do that yet.
You haven't had to do it yet, but your son's growing up right now in this home. Yeah. And then he's gonna end up growing up in a different home. And then depending on how life rolls, he might end up in a different home after that.
That's not all that catastrophic, but I do get what you're saying.
You don't think so?
It's not ideal, but it's definitely, I don't think all that catastrophic. People are pretty adaptable.
Are kids though?
For sure. Kids are the most adaptable. They have no idea what's going on for the most part.
What happens when they do?
I think it would depend on, are you talking regional or
like
state?
Okay, my last statement was a little off the cuff, but I do stand by. I think kids are the most adaptable. Again, I will concede I don't think it's the most ideal situation.
Children actually have the hardest challenges change. Think of all the kids that go through parent divorces, the home locations moving, the single parents that are out there dating, who have people who aren't necessarily coming in and out, but they may not be in relationships for as long. So that change is actually what really is the focus point, not necessarily the home changing homes or the divorce. It's the change itself.
It's just breaking the routine.
So when you say they can adapt to it, they can adapt to it, but at what cost?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Right? That's a fair statement.
Yeah. But a little off the cuff, a little deeper.
Well,
I had 3 schools when I was in second grade. I went to 3 different schools.
Yeah.
In second grade?
And that was not the choice.
Not great. No, I can imagine that. I did a lot of school jumping around too.
New kid.
Yeah.
Not every kid is built like you. Not every kid is built like me. Not every kid is built like Shook to be able to be like, all right, school number 4, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not even worried about making no friends.
Shook wasn't out here networking in second grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess... Huh?
Don't even bother becoming friends with me because I'm just going to move.
I'm going to be gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Army brats and stuff. Yeah, that's true. I know that. But I guess that was kind of like my example. I'm like, well, just think of all the Army brats. Like, they're okay. But I'm sure like each and every one of them are like, yeah, I never really had a best friend growing up. Like, I've heard that on multiple different occasions from Army brats and stuff.
At the end of the day, man, as your friend, I feel like you should own a home. It's a great investment.
And for context, I'm not totally 100% against owning a home. I'm against going out and buying a home in my current tax bracket.
Oh, well, you should not be trying to buy a home right now.
That's what...
Yeah. Hence why I sold mine, right?
Right. It was probably a good time for that.
Exactly, yeah.
No, I agree. I got a good setup where I'm at right now, so it's not necessarily on my mind.
Yeah, it's not a need, but more definitely it's better to do it sooner than later, because if you think about it, 30-year term, if you're already 30, the last thing you want to do is be 60 by the time you pay it off, right?
Right. Well, and the other thing I always think is like, you don't have to keep it for 30 years. I always kind of forget that point.
That's true too.
That's the shit that brings me right back in. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Maybe
Let's
we
go
can go
look.
That's what I'm saying. I've been. I just had my stepbrother move in with me, and now I'm kind of on the family compound tip. I'm like, that's probably the move.
It is the move. Buying some land and having a bunch of family and friends plop in the area.
Right.
It's fucking cultish, but hey, as long as
it's only cult. So this whole whole last year, I've been doing my best to put myself in like other people's shoes and like explore different cultures and like kind of just break all the shit you're kind of indoctrinated with like from the jump. Which is like, I was just listening to this dude talk about arranged marriages. Like, I'm not really for arranged marriages. I think you should be able to pick who you want to be with. But the way he was putting it, I'm like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Like, they don't get married for love. No one does. Like, that's why no one gets divorced out there. Like, this is an agreement, a social agreement more than it is a personal thing. Like, you getting together, you create more babies for the tribe. Like, it keeps everything close-knit. You look after each other's elders, like, all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes a little more sense. And then it's like,
preserving life is the main thing.
Right. right.
all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and all we know is like Western culture for the most part, and like a lot of this Eastern culture. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like again, I probably prefer our ways. That's why they've stuck around for so long. But I can understand it. Like we're like one of the only country. Well, I don't know that specific, but America and stuff where the family separates. Like when you're 18 you get kicked out. Like that's just kind of standard protocol. But in like other countries the whole family stays together for as long as they can.
Niggas are still living there.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not all that mad at that idea if everyone pulls their weight, like as long as you're not just slacking off. But then we got to kick you out the cult. Yeah. Have you ever like looked into land or anything like that?
So I'm actually currently
on the family compound tip.
Well, the funny thing is I also have my two sisters live in Tenino, so down south in the Olympia area. So we have land out there already.
Oh, nice.
So in a sense, a compound, not so much, but I mean, just with investments and looking into the housing market, like I mean, I'm looking into foreclosures right now. People that have foreclosed, it's an unfortunate thing, and thank Allah, I've never actually had to like foreclose on a home or anything before, but it's an opportunity to, one man's trash makes another one's treasure in a sense. So what exactly does that look like, looking for foreclosed homes? Yeah, so I mean, I'm still learning about it, so I'm not a professional in any way.
Yeah, we haven't made it clear. None of us are experts in really just about anything.
Well, time out. I did sell homes. I did do that as a big career for a while, so I'm familiar with the real estate market. But as far as foreclosed homes, that's something that's new to me. But I mean, ideally, what I've learned is obviously it's someone's unable to make their payments on their home. The bank goes into foreclosure mode to where they'll have a period of time to be able to pay back what they owe. Then they can keep their home type thing. But, essentially it's an available product for someone to take over the remaining balance or what's left on it. Yeah. And then essentially be able to turn around and do something with it. Now, you can do it as an investment. You can do it as, like, for me, I plan on living in it for a little bit, renovating, doing some little bit of work, especially if it's the right piece of property. But ideally, yeah, you can turn around and flip it after a year or flip it right from the gate. And so when you purchase it, you're just taking over the person's debt and their payments, or are you purchasing the home as well? Like, so, how does that work? You're purchasing the home, but as far as like if it's the debt that's owed or whatnot, that's the part I'm still doing the research on and learning about. Because I mean, I'm looking at a little bit of a list, or just what the quick access is, and they're talking about being able to buy a home in Tacoma for $23,000. Right. Because that's probably what's left on the payments. That's owed, right? Or which just even rough. Which is rough because that's close to the finish line, bro. That's the hardest part. That's why I say one man's trash, in a sense of you're trash. You didn't take care of it. Like at that point, all right, dude, bank, you can have the garage. That's it. I'm cutting it off there. I'm keeping everything else. Yeah. So I'm still doing the research on that to understand that part. But ideally, yeah, man, I'm okay with a little bit of work, and I'm okay with finding something that isn't perfect. I bought a brand new home as my first home, and I did it, and it was cool. But there's there's something said to be able to make the home yours the way you want it. Right. So, right. You still got to buy all the furniture. Yeah. You still got to, That's still in a trailer right now. But. Yeah. That's just a whole, what is that, an extra $15,000 to furnish a home or something like that? I mean, you could get away with it probably being, cheaper than that, depending on, what you're looking for. I'm talking about more of the fact of like, for instance, Casey's parents just remodeling, the space that we're in, right? And right, Casey, right? Yeah. So just being able to pick this floor out, and that's the floor you want. Right. Pick the door trim, that's the door trim you want. Gotcha. Really make it make it yours how you want it to be. Now this could have already been here, but to even change the color to what's more appropriate or what suits you. Right, change the stones or whatever. Shit, man, my brother sells windows for a living, and the fact that there's like a bajillion types of windows and how much difference they truly make, like, right, like there's all kinds of things that you can make it yours to be able to.
No lie, like I'm actually having a remodel project come up, and I need some fucking windows.
Oh, bro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got you all day. Yeah.
Tacked in.
Yep. Renewal. Shout out to Barrington A. Renewal by Anderson.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we're here for.
Yeah. No. So that's the type of shit that I like. That's to me. That's why buying a home I feel is important because
it's an opportunity for other people to you know.
I mean,
make a living.
At the end of the day, man, we know so many people that don't own shit.
Right.
You don't own anything. You have a car, you're still making a payment on it. It's not yours yet. You have a house, but you're still making a payment. It's not yours yet. It will be yours. That's why you keep making a payment on it. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the little shit that you can own that don't mean shit. So to feel what it's like to own something and something be yours, that feeling will never trump. You just can't trump it. Just like having a kid, man. That's your kid.
Yours.
It's yours.
I know, man. I can't make an emotional decision, but I'm not mad. I don't know.
Most decisions are made off emotion.
Yeah, no shit. I know that one. I've made a couple. That's why I got a strict no emotional decision policy.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I've definitely been opening up to it. We got to get back over to this side of town anyway, so.
Yeah, you guys are far.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Bro, we was leaving Chuck's house. Danielle goes, "Are you guys going out to Spencer's house? Because y'all leaving a little late to be heading out there."
Yeah. We're out there in the woods, but it's nice.
It is nice. It's a nice area.
We got a private lake a block down. We got all sorts of shit. It's perfect for the kid. That's what I like. And we dodge traffic. We're going the opposite direction of traffic, by the way. So it's only like 30 minutes. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's just Federal Way with a little traffic. Sweet. So.
You said Federal Way. You're east of that.
Yeah, I know, but you can. It's about the same time if you're moving quick enough.
All right, I'll give it to you.
Something like
that. Whatever floats
know.
your boat, dog.
Sick.
Not me.
So, I know you've been working with Bear. Bear's been catching my eye. We were just listening to him literally right before you guys got here. Like, give me the scoop. Where did this guy come from? How come he's just hit my radar? Like,
well, that's on you that he just hit your radar.
Good. Tell me what.
Well, so I mean, I guess to back up a little bit, another shout out, Post Office Studios.
Big shout out to Post
DJ
Office
QJ
Studios.
and Matt Belugs, but I mean, those guys brought me in as a kind of like a consultant / manager for the business side of things, and QJ hit me up one day just to come down and kick it, and he's like, "I'm about to record this session if you want to sit in," and I was sitting there and met Bear, and I mean, he's a 22-year-old guy from Lakewood, owns his own business, doing landscape stuff. He's
so funny. I didn't know that, and I just seen him like, should I put in my 2-week notice or should I just quit?
Yeah,
so funny,
he was being dead ass serious.
He's hilarious.
So, but another thing too, I mean, with him being young, is that he's around a good, solid core group of people to kind of help motivate him and show him the way. And he's actually just got on board as an electrician apprentice with the union.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he's getting ready to start that up right now. So, Bear Bro, he's from Lakewood. He's a big fan of skateboarding. That's
he was up at the Maple Valley Skate Park.
Yeah, he's everywhere, man. I was fortunate enough to have him take me to Lone Acres out in like that Kent Renton area.
Okay.
It was like this skate park that was built underneath a bridge.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
And supposedly it got tore down just not too long ago, or is in the process of it because they're doing some construction to the freeway bridge, so they have to take care of it. But it was a pretty cool place. So yeah, he's all over the place. I mean, my sister driving my sisters in Tenino. I go through Yelm sometimes, and I found a skate park, and I was like, "Hey, you ever seen this Yelm skate park?" He's like, "Bro, that one's actually not that bad if it wasn't so far."
Oh, yep, he knows all the parts.
Oh yeah, he knows everywhere, man.
Nice.
Be on the lookout right now. He's actually him and I are working on doing a skate competition.
No way.
Yeah.
Here in Tacoma.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, do you know what park or?
I'm not gonna divulge all the information yet, just so we get everything buttoned up. But yeah, we're definitely working with some sponsorships to be able to give away some, potentially some decks and some gear and stuff like that for the kids, and kind of help bring the skate community together a little bit more, especially since he's a rap artist in the town.
Yeah.
Why not blend a lot of that?
We got a lot of good skaters out here. Did you ever skate?
I played around a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Northwest Snowboards, got my little deck, and
Yeah.
had my trucks. I still have the deck too. It's got some chocolate trucks on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I got a little blind board in my car right now.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't get on the board and do nothing. I never could, but I grew up around BMXers and stuff like that. So
yeah,
my uncle has a shop out. He built a shop when I was a kid growing up in Tenino. Man, he had there'd be at least 10 guys every day out there in enclosed warehouse, full vert, all kinds of shit in there playing around. Used to do the tail whips on the trampoline with no tires and shit like that. Yeah.
We used to have a spot called Thrill Zone up here on Mildred.
I remember that spot. Yeah. I remember that spot.
A 12-foot straight vertical drop with the foam pit and all that.
And it kind of actually, when I heard that place shut down, I wish I was smarter and I knew more, because I would have asked what happened. You know what I mean? Just to be able to see if you can get it going, because I remember growing up, that's where a lot of the kids were going. Even if you didn't skate, it was
You'd go out there, hang out. They had they had the computer game and all that.
Yeah, you could do all kinds of crazy shit, but it's like, where did they fail to where that doesn't exist anymore?
Right.
It doesn't exist.
I bet the insurance went through the roof.
That's probably not a bad call.
Well, location, price, insurance, liability, all that shit is probably what had to do with a lot of it. But to know the details, to figure out where you can move that.
We spent a solid 3-4 years where all of our birthdays got spent there. They had a whole gaming room in there where that was where I first saw World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah,
and I was playing RuneScape at the time, and we were all just gaming up in there. I'm looking at this guy, he's playing World of Warcraft, and I'm like, "Oh, what is that?" He's like, "This is WoW. What are you playing?" I'm like, "This is RuneScape." He's like, "Oh, that's gay, bro. You just click and your guy just walks there. I have to maneuver my guy." I'm like, "You're 30, dude. I'm 11." I'm like, "What are you even doing here?"
But yeah, so I mean, just even those skate parks and stuff. I mean, those are good places, but I wish that was available right now to be able to do the competition. But right now, so we're working on a few of the particulars, and so yeah, we'll definitely be leaking that stuff out here a little bit more as soon as we get some more stuff buttoned up. But yeah. That should tell you a little bit about who he is.
Yeah, no, that's freaking awesome. I'm super glad to hear that. That's a great idea. And whenever that comes along, let me know. I'd love to be able to help however I can. And at least get out there and go skate.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, shit, I just went to the old spaghetti factory for some food, and some kids were skating right across from the post office.
Oh, nice. Right there. Oh, downtown?
Yeah, I got out the car, walked over, was like, "Hey, you guys interested in competition?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Hell yeah.
So if you're interested in that, shoot a DM into the post office studios with all caps words saying skate, and then we'll get you on the list as potential participants. And there will be an entry fee per participant, but we'll get that figured out here pretty shortly.
Well done.
Yeah.
So speaking of the post office, what else has been going on down there? I haven't made it back in there since the pandemic.
So I mean, I myself have been away, which I definitely need to get back in a little bit more. But with the pandemic, and then my most recent job that I was at took a lot of that time. But I mean, right now, QJ's working on a rollout for his tape that he's been really pushing for.
That's the NASCAR.
Yeah, the Because I Can.
Yeah, there we go.
Because I Can. Yeah, so he's buttoning up a few things right now.
So is that going to be instrumentals, or is that going to be a whole pack of songs he's put together? And
it's going to be a
it's
pack
going to be
of songs.
A QJ project.
Yeah, it's a project strictly by QJ, working with a lot of the local talent. I won't divulge who those people are other than Bear. I know Bear Bro's on one of the tracks, and I think a lot of people will be very impressed with that tape when it comes out. And I'm really pushing for it to come out sooner, but than not. But at the same time, I'm really encouraging the support of when the time is right for you. That's when it
right. Of course, you gotta leave it up to the artist. They know what they're doing. It's their work.
Yeah. Belugs right now is working on a few different projects for himself as well. Phenomenal projects. I think he's kind of posted a little bit about who's been working with him. He's working with Perry,
Perry Paints?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perry, and then I think he's done a couple things with Bear as well. So I mean, there's a lot coming out of the post office here pretty soon. It's just the guys are really wanting to take it a little bit more serious than they have, in a sense of proper rollouts and experience a little bit more.
TBG brought out the rolls. That shit was hard. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously them not necessarily being post office affiliates, but they're doing big things too, and they've been in the studio, which is kind of cool to experience and see. I haven't got a chance to be there with them, but just knowing some of the guys out of the group from growing up. She's a big family member, Scoob family, that kind of thing, to where. The fact that those guys are doing something is definitely going to help keep that motivation up with the studio and the guys in there to kind of keep pushing it forward too.
Right, iron sharpens iron. I mean, we got some talent out here right now.
Way too much talent. Yeah.
Aramis and Enumclaw.
I just came from
freaking waves.
I literally, before I picked up Shook, was at ETC. Ran into Aramis. He was there right now. Just so you guys know, he is working on the CDs and the tapes and sending them out for
the Jimbo demo.
Yeah, for the Jimbo demo.
Go get one of those.
Demo. So yeah, those.
Go get a couple of those.
Yeah, go keep. Yeah, I'm a big fan of cassette tapes.
Yeah,
so,
get some for your friends.
Yeah. So I just ran into him and I just told him too. I said, keep up the work, man, because it's only gonna make other people want to keep up.
Right.
The fear of being left behind is such a real thing to where.
It's a tight line, especially nowadays, where you can, some of these guys are putting out just song after song after, you have the freedom to just do what you want and put out anything. And it's a fine line to walk between how much music you should put out and, whether it's just the one songs you like or, I don't know. Yeah,
I think if you give yourself a firm deadline, and it's a good deadline for you, you're going to be able to be creative enough to where you're making exactly what you want to be making.
See, that's one thing that I've been trying to divulge into the guys of just about making a end deadline. You don't have to do everything by a deadline, but at least tell yourself that you want this to be done by. That way it gives you that time to do what you need to do, to be creative.
Google's a song, like, I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's a Christian rapper, Tobe and Wigway.
Oh, yeah?
You lost me.
They do a song a week. That was his goal, I heard on some podcasts.
Make one song a week? Yeah.
And they've been steady with it.
Yeah.
And that's really,
I don't know
honestly,
the process on that, but
I would think that's the way to go. Get one song and spend a week nailing it in.
look at what
Opposed,
we're trying to do, one podcast a week.
you're right, and nail it in.
It's just about doing it. I mean, it's just action. That's all you need is some action. You need
Google SMART goals. I think that's what it is. It's an acronym. I forget what it is. But there's also. Have you ever read the book? Not The Art of War, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield?
No, but I've been not trying. I hate the word trying.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to read a little bit more, especially with leaning more into my entrepreneurship and business and stuff, just to kind of get a little bit more insight on things. But I mean, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based.
Yes.
Like SMART. Like that's
how you set a goal. Something specific. Something measurable by time, attainable. You don't want to set your, try and get something unreasonable.
If you don't make 10 bands in 10 months, you shouldn't set a goal for 10 bands in 9 months.
Right,
you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? If it's not obtainable unless you can magically get extra money, which it's possible. Yeah. But the legit way, or just even a way without causing more attention to yourself or having to work, say, harder, or especially if you can work smarter, right? But yeah, if it's not obtainable, there's no point to it.
Right. In that book, he talks about as a creative, you have to please the muse. Like, he thinks of it as like the way you get good ideas is every day you sit down and you do the work, whether that's 30 minutes or an hour. You sit down, and even if you're a comedian, even if you don't get a joke out, if you're a writer and you don't get it, like, just sitting down, opening up the book, closing yourself up, and like pleasing the muse by putting in the work is how the ideas come flowing in. Yeah. It's a interesting read. I really like it. I never really considered myself a real creative person, but like, that's because I never sat down and tried to get better at painting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always sucked at art. Oh yeah,
it's
little
all good.
incoming missile
that's the part
attack.
about being the home, though. You know what I'm saying? Is the train tracks and the
Exactly.
and the airplanes. I mean, shit.
The foghorns.
I'm over by the artillery guns again, to where you're hearing.
Oh,
the doom,
nice.
Doom, doom. You know, house is kind of shaking sometimes, making you kind of question what's going on outside.
Yeah, there is some beautiful Pacific Northwest sounds out there.
Yeah.
I don't mind them at all, especially those big jumbo jets coming in. I kind of like it. The Chinooks and the Apache helicopters.
Yeah, shout out the armed forces. I
Yeah,
mean, for real.
big. For real.
We are a very big, very big, very big location for military and armed forces. So, shout out to them. But yeah, man, post office is a great experience. I'm working on with the guys to, you know, help make the experience down there a lot better. They're getting more feedback now. People are wanting to come down there a little bit more to do what they need to do, such as recording, you know, their rap album or singing album, R&B album, or just even, you know, 401k Trey. Shout out to Trey. He's doing a lot of his live stream stuff sometimes through the post office, or you know, a lot of his skits that he's doing. He's doing a lot of comedy skits, which is pretty funny. You should definitely take a look at him.
He's hilarious, bro. He cracks me up. His TikTok videos are hilarious.
He's definitely he's a creative mind, man. The thing with him is just getting locked in.
Pleasing the muse.
Yeah, pleasing the muse. Yeah, I mean, just life is just hard for everyone. Everyone goes through their own things, and good and bad.
And everyone's got their own creative process. You know, it's easy to blanket statement and say this is how it needs to be done, but
it doesn't work for everybody.
Everyone's got their own process.
Yeah. Young Wolf is another project. He just dropped Teen Spirit. That one's a banger as well, and a lot of it necessarily isn't out of the post office, but just the fact that he is an artist out of the studio, and is definitely making a lot of headway on the younger crowd and the younger generation as far as music and what they like to listen to. So
yeah, he's taking a lot of he loves Heath Ledger, right?
Loves Heath Ledger. He is Heath Ledger.
Yeah,
Don't disrespect.
That's what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
He's got a cool style. I don't think I've gotten into his music yet, so we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely give it a look.
Show.
I mean, like I said, it's a little bit of a different sound. He's definitely more catering towards his age bracket. You know, that young 19, 18, young 20s. That's definitely a new generation of music and what's going on, which I love it, just because you're never gonna evolve if there's no change.
No, and it's never gonna stay the same either. Let's just leave that hope behind.
Everything gets repeated at some point, right? There's always a rip off of something, because you can't think of everything.
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun. Let me ask you this: have you heard of the Tacoma Dark Room? Have you been seeing any of that going on? I honestly am still in the dark about it. I see what you did there. I seen Who's Long and I forget who else, but they just secured a space. They're putting up in some construction. Like, let's see if we can get a little information on it.
I love Wong. Wong is
an incredible photographer. He just did our
shooter.
first shoot for Post Meridian.
Oh yeah.
That's who was behind it.
He's a real shooter, man. I'm proud of him. He's young, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. It's impressive to see a young individual or young individuals be able to do stuff like this. And I know he's been really honing in on finding his space and lane to where he knows he's the best shooter in town, but it's a matter of how does he expand outside of his zone, right?
As a fact,
yeah,
he is the best shooter in town.
Yeah, he's the best shooter in town, man. If you don't know Wong, then you know you probably don't really take a lot of photography or know a lot of photography, or
right. You're definitely not tapped in.
Yeah, you're not tapped in, because a lot of your favorite artists are getting shot by Wong. I mean, I would also say Chloe is a very, very big photographer out in town too.
How do you say her last name? Cora. Is it Cora Gia?
I don't even know. I can't even
Dude, check out that Miss Parker shoot. That shit is crazy, dog. That one right there.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he's able to do stuff like that, and
there's a video to it too. He legit had her out on the lawn and everything. That shit was hard.
Yeah.
I only watched it once, but you know.
So I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Wong yet about his space that he's got going on and where he's been at. I just seen him not too long ago, but I haven't got to talk to him about.
I gotta say, I love seeing people's Instagram profiles and they've got themes. Like it's just like he's got his own style, and you can see that in his Instagram. I think it's so impressive that how some artists are able to pull that off. I don't know if it's intentional, but I can see his consistency throughout his work.
It's curated.
Yeah, I definitely think it's curated, but it's curated over time.
One thing I learned about Wong though too is that he doesn't really like to work with people that don't have a creative mind.
Right.
He's cool with doing shots for people, but at the end of the day, he's wanting you to work with him in a sense of
She got her nipple out?
It's probably a tattoo.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's no way she got her nipple out on Instagram.
Now, see, I'm interested because it's like if you were to, be rolling up in the bath, like, would you use it backwards since you can rinse it?
Oh, that's not a bad call.
But anyway.
I don't. Okay, so, well, I'm glad you said that. Explain to me rinsing a backwood. I've never done that. I think I've smoked maybe 2 or 3 backwoods in my time.
I'm not even going to hold you. I can't even really roll, period, other than paper.
Okay.
But from my understanding, it's just more of the cleanliness of the leaf. I mean, it's all tobacco,
I know,
right?
it's a leaf, huh?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, too,
that's funny.
I believe it may help with the rolling factor, too.
See, I always thought it was to moisten it up, because I don't know how they come, but, like, sweets always come stupid dry.
Yeah.
You gotta,
as far as I know, there's backwoods are just a different breed to where motherfuckers just know they got their own way. I've been in a car with QJ while he's driving, rolling up a backwood without rinsing it.
I remember seeing Phoenix doing that. He's got his jar of weed in one hand, sweet like this. He's picking out nugs and breaking them up into the sweet. I'm like, oh, that's fucking impressive.
No one will outdo Hironaka.
Austin
Hironaka. We drove from his place to Bend, Oregon, or to the dunes down in Oregon, and he had rolled up with one hand at least 12 joints in the time frame that we drove down there.
While driving?
Yeah. Now, he'll tell you I slept a lot of the way, which I did. But the fact that I got woken up every time it was time to smoke definitely told me a lot.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, no, Austin's the reason why I smoke as much as I smoke.
That's funny. That's so cool that you hang out with him. I remember when we would go up in Snoqualmie, and it was like freshman year or whatever. He was like, that's fucking Austin Hironaka. Yeah. He was shredded, bro. And then
he's the most humble person when it comes to that snowboard stuff, man. Like, so for anyone that doesn't know Austin Hironaka, he's a local Tacoma kid. Became a professional snowboarder. Got signed by Ride. And a couple other sponsorships, and
his brother Jacob is a killer too.
Krugmeyer is a beast too as well. But yeah, Austin got big off snowboarding and just being him. And when he retired, I wouldn't say retired because he's still out there beasting it. But when he wasn't doing it as a profession, he's got his own hot rod.
Yes, actually, I'm super glad you brought this up because he does some cool shit in there, bro.
Yeah,
he's got this Honda Element that he's tricked out. He made a
pull that shit up.
Pull it up,
Casey, pull up
Heroes Hot Rods.
Yeah, Heroes Hot Rods.
Yeah, HIRO.
You see his swivel seat?
That's what I was just about to talk about. So he took out the airbag on the passenger side and put in a swivel seat. I don't know what for, but whatever,
the Element is his camper. That's his camper when he goes up.
Oh, okay. So he just lives in that.
No, well, in a sense to where he still goes up to the mountains for... Yeah, he'll live in it when he goes up to the mountains.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
No, Heroes as in HIRO.
Oh.
Yeah, he's part Japanese. Yeah.
There you go.
Which, side note, I was fortunate enough to spend some time with him in Japan.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Dude, tell me some stories, please.
Just take a look at it.
Yeah,
it's
post some shit
it's
up.
Heroes Hot Rods, HIROS hot rods.
Were you up there snowboarding in Japan with
No,
Austin here?
I could never. Austin looked me in my eyes and told me if I ever went snowboarding with him, he would intentionally leave me to get me to keep up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Japan is one of my dream places to ever go snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like,
My internet's shit. Sorry, guys.
but
No,
dude,
you're good.
He's got this the Del Sol too.
Yep.
Is that his? Yeah.
Yeah, that's been his. I was fortunate enough when I met Austin. That was his project.
Oh,
that
dude,
was no, that's not the Element though.
No,
Or
I know,
the-
but this Civic that they've been—that's a Civic, right?
That's a Del Sol. Which one are you talking about?
The wagon. Or is it a
the hatchback?
Yeah.
I think it's an '89 hatchback.
No, right above that.
Yeah, with this is. I mean, if you're on his page and you come across it, it's really cool because the colorway came from a Rainier can.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's what he used for reference.
Yep. So yeah, Hero he loves his Rainier and from my understanding, the car color theme came from a Rainier can.
We were talking about that earlier. We need the Rainier sponsorship. I guess we should have some on the table next time. But we were talking.
That's why you got to be like me. You got to get the Daz.
Oh yeah.
You got to get it above the brim on the table
go.
right
Some
there.
marketing. I got so much to learn,
Bro.
I got nothing of my own up here.
It's okay.
Are we all ice? But yeah, he is very impressive. I had no idea he was doing all this.
Oh, so you story about Hero.
Oh, give me a Japan story.
Oh, you want a Japan story? I mean, shit, man. We're in Japan. Austin's been there.
85 Wonder Civic.
Yeah, 85.
Oh, that's so
That's
crazy.
what it is. I mean, we're in Japan with Austin, man. We got to go and experience his culture that he's been fortunate enough to go and enjoy himself throughout the years. And I mean, there's really I can't really divulge too much information as far as trip. It's kind of like a Vegas trip.
Oh, gotcha.
But,
okay.
I mean, we were playing dice, so we're big fans of 4, 5, 6.
I might need you to teach me that.
Oh, that's easy. I mean, 4, 5, 6. It's the name of the game. That's all you need. If you don't got 4, 5, 6, you're probably gonna lose.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah, when you play with
I'm
dice,
caught up. I'm caught up.
You're caught
okay.
up. Yeah, I'll give you the particulars, but yeah, we are a bunch of Americans playing 4, 5, 6 dice, gambling on the corners.
Oh yeah,
and on the streets. The night we met up with Austin, he's in front of a Lawson's, which is like the equivalent to 7-Eleven in Japan. He's out front blowing our phones up, talking about when you guys gonna get here. We gotta walk, obviously. Get there. He's passed out, drunk already. But the best part is that I woke him up with standing over his face, and as soon as he saw us, the dude was back alive. Like, I wouldn't say he was passed out drunk. I would say Austin was taking his cat nap.
Yeah.
He took his little nap on the street right there, bro.
Reinvigorated.
Yeah. And we went back at it. We're playing dice, met some people that actually were real big car fans.
Oh, really?
So that we showed them how to play 4, 5, 6. We literally made a theme out of it. It was called Lawson Boys. So, shout out Nip for Slawson.
Yeah.
But we called it Lawson Boys just because we were outside of a Lawson's every chance we could, whether we were buying something or playing some dice.
Spot for the trip.
Yeah, but Hero's a very big inspiration for me just in general as a person, and the things he does and the type of person he is, where he's real in tune with himself, to where everyone wants to be in tune with themselves at some point. So
yeah, he's the people's champ. Yeah, he gets a lot of love
for sure. Yeah, and if you're following him, and if you get to follow him, he's got his merch that's available.
Yeah,
he's definitely doing some big things. I'm proud of him, and he's been talking about doing this for a while, and I'm just glad he's gotten to do it.
And what was that video? I remember you said you had a friend. She was in a skiing video, and that previewed up at Evo.
Oh yeah, so Lexi DuPont.
Yeah,
she was in Vegas, or not Vegas. She was in Japan with us as well. She's a professional skier. I got to meet her through Austin, which is really cool, and she's a good friend of mine now. She's also a pilot. So she can fly a plane. She was supposed, right before COVID, man, we were talking, and I was like, Lex, you're gonna come to my birthday this year? She's like, when is it? And I was like, April. And she's like, it depends if I don't do this trip. And I'm like, what trip are you talking about? She's like, we're about to fly to Greenland.
She's about to fly? She's
flying to Greenland. Or Iceland. One of the two. It's out there. She was doing a trip. So it wasn't just those two places, but she was legitimately going to fly and get to ski and spend time with her friends and family, which she was super excited about. But with COVID, she actually got stuck in Canada because that's where one of her homes is. She's got a house in Canada, a fully sustainable home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's got everything solar powered is where she gets her power from. She gets water, obviously, from the mountains and rain. And
that's the family compound.
Lexi she's if anyone ever gets a chance to come across Lexi DuPont, man, definitely talk to her about life. Don't talk to her about skiing.
Yeah.
You could talk to her about skiing.
Yeah, she sounds like a super interesting.
You can talk to her about skiing. Is she a local person?
No,
she's from Idaho, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'm sorry, Lex, if I'm wrong. But she. And
what was the name of that? The movie she was. Her
video. Damn.
I think it's on.
I have to pull it up.
Instagram.
It's on my Instagram. Yeah. So
that's at Cedric Stay Ready.
Yeah, at Cedric Stay Ready.
I see you got an ETC tag in your bio too.
Yeah, man. I've been fortunate enough to grow up with those guys. Shout out to ETC. Just in the fact to where I kind of just
big shout out. We support ETC over here.
Yeah. I kind of took it upon myself to kind of just be an ambassador of the brand. And I mean, if you look in my closet, that's pretty much all you'll see is ETC basketball, football jerseys, and a lot of hoodies and sweatshirts. But
I'm excited for the revamp.
Yeah, so Shaped by Descent is Lexi DuPont's project. Yeah, so I think it's like $10 on Apple, so you can buy it off Apple. But she literally talks about her trip. She gets to do this really big ski trip, and it's a place I believe it's in Alaska. Her family and them have gone there, and she's been wanting to really go and do her thing, and she did it. And,
oh wow! And she kills at photography too.
And when I say a professional skier, we're talking downhill, the side of dam. Like,
I think hill is an understatement, but
well, downhill. I mean, technically it's downhill skiing, like, but I mean, she gets dropped off by a helicopter.
Oh, she does the heli skiing.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does that. Man, she gets dropped off by a chopper and gets to do her thing. Cool she's a wonderful person. Yeah, I love her. She's a great friend of mine. She's become a great friend.
Nice. Yeah, she would be awesome. A pilot, professional skier.
Yep, she's. I believe you have to be like you have to go through I don't know if it's ski patrol, but just like the survival training on the mountains if you're going to be able to ski that stuff.
Through avalanche and everything.
So I mean, other than just being able to ski that stuff, she's able to survive and help other people while she's doing it too, which is really cool. So it's bigger than just skiing. So that's why I say you can talk to her about skiing, but definitely talk to her about life, because that's definitely what she's all about.
Yeah, that was a cool saying. I hadn't heard that before, but
yeah,
I like that. So throughout I know you're a big. I don't know if you're considered a foodie, but I know you're into good food. Have you been going out and supporting any restaurants as of lately, or have you lost any big staple ones throughout the last year?
I mean, for me, I love to eat, as you could tell. But at the same time, I try to stay away from spending a lot of money when it comes to eating out. But I mean, I'll do what I can to support.
Yeah.
There really isn't, to me, a lot of, for me, support comes to like, I need to know someone personally first, and then I'll go to the next level, which is local type thing.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense,
yeah. Go out of your way to support them.
Yeah, hence why my closet has ETC. If I'm going to buy clothes, I might as well buy them from my family, to where it gives me everything I need.
Buy them from the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Buy it from my family.
That circles the money.
It circles the money. I mean, Black Wall Street, that's how it happened. It was
I was going to say.
Black people were buying from black people.
It's
And
called currency for a reason. It flows like a currency.
yeah.
Right, and the other thing is, if you do that, the next time you got something for sale, that money's going to cycle back to you as well.
Exactly.
You know,
What
there's
goes around comes around, full circle.
there's an entire economy there.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to actually go into Foss for the first 2 years, play football with a local chef, Jacob Howell,
Oh, okay.
253 Degrees. I believe that's what his IG is too. Jacob Howell, I was his fullback. He was my running back. So we got pretty close through our first 2 years of high school. I'm super proud of him. He just did a pop-up not too long ago in Seattle, and
wow.
He ran out of food, to where
Dang, what is that?
I believe there's some chicken. Yeah, he's got another
Chef,
pop-up
wow.
coming. I think I haven't heard too much about it yet, but I definitely know he's brewing something up. Cooking something up.
I hear chefs are pretty intense people.
Jacob, man, he's so relaxed and laid back,
good.
bro. Like he does it because he really does enjoy it. I mean, I hadn't seen Jacob in years after graduation, and after graduating, ran into him at DOA on the Ave.
Oh, okay.
He was their head chef, I believe, over there for a while.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at DOA. Yeah, so he was doing his thing just on the local spots, and eventually he moved over to what's the place in the post office?
Oh, what is that place? The ramen spot?
No, not the ramen spot. No, and it's they do the nice drinks and the.
Oh yeah.
Basically, all you can eat is bread because they don't really have too many meal items.
Yeah. I don't know what that spot is called.
What the hell is it called?
Umi invited me there once.
Yeah. But he was actually cooking there for a minute too. Before I believe he went on his own and started doing his own.
So now he's on his
thing.
own.
Yeah.
Have you heard of like the people doing ghost kitchens or anything like that? Have you heard of these? So like, there's these restaurants that are starting to pop up on like Grubhub and Postmates and Uber Eats and all this stuff. And if you Google them to like check the location, it's like someone's house or like just a weird little like corner office or something like that. And so people are like essentially. And I don't know the whole process for sure, but it sounds like they're renting the virtual use of the
Kitchen
whatever,
space?
the kitchen space or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're just cooking out of there and just sending it only through Grubhub and Postmates, so they don't have a restaurant or nothing.
Yeah. So from my understanding is like there's real small particulars that you need to be able to do stuff like that, and it's like as long as the place is certified or has passed like the health codes or whatever, you're able to do work out of there. So
Oh man, he's got his whole website.
yeah, so I mean I would definitely recommend. I mean, he's one of the people that I have coming on my podcast as well.
Are you cooking for him?
I would cook for him. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
oh,
actually
yeah.
with Jacob, I would probably ask him to cook with me to give me a private lesson.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just because that's what I would probably prefer. But for him, like, yeah, I'd cook for him and have him critique it. I mean, the dude's a fucking beast. He's a good guy, man. If you definitely get a chance to check out his pop up, if you get
I will have to.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, this is.
Self-made chef.
he's a self-made chef, man. Yeah.
I love seeing that.
That's freaking dude. This is my favorite part of like the internet is the fact that everyone has the ability to build their own audience. Like you don't have to be a celebrity anymore. You just got to be like, you gotta be hood famous. You just got to be, get it around your town.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the other day. I was like, man, I got nothing but time on my hands. What's one thing I love? I was like, food. I was like, how do you become a food critic?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm a picky eater, but I'll still try something, or I'll still give it a go.
Yeah.
At the first sight, right? But Tina Thatch, man, she literally made herself a self-made food critic.
Just by starting to write?
Just by going around trying out different places and eating different places and then critiquing it and letting everyone else know about it and support of that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
the fact that, the internet has that power to be able to make someone a self-made, and then you leave the quotations for
Right.
whatever you want to put into it, is great.
Well, and it's funny because my head goes to, so she's like an Instagram blogger or whatever. But in reality, like, no matter what title you put on it, if you're paying your bills with it, you're a professional. Like, it's that whole Insta famous thing. Like, Insta famous is just famous now. And I think everyone should probably get on board with doing your best to amass a crowd. I would say.
I would say if you're thinking about the money is the money's where it's at, but the money is not what drives you.
No.
You got to have the passion for it, because if you don't have the passion, you're never going to continue to do it.
Right, you can chase dollar bills in a circle for your whole life.
The amount of hours it takes to make content for anything you care about, it's like you have to care about it because you're not going to see the return that you think you're
right, and it's a drop in a bucket of how many
Especially
millions of hours just got
Sweat and tears.
Especially when you're
blood,
talking
sweat,
money,
and tears.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's not many TikTok creators that are actually making money, but the ones that are.
Yeah, and that's why I don't even know if Tina's making money like that off of it, but I just know that the fact that she loves it and the support that she has from it is what that's why she continues to do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not about making the money off of it. I mean, she's getting notoriety off of just the fact that she's been doing it out of love.
Right.
So, yeah.
But it's still, I have to imagine, it still opens up the doors to pay some bills.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, at some point, yeah. But I mean, the thing is, nowadays, everyone's actually starting to understand that you can make this a hobby and make money off of it.
Right.
So the 9-to-5s that people work is what pays their bills.
Exactly.
And then it's this extra stuff that gives them their vacation opportunities, their sneaker buys, their fit buys, all that extra bullshit.
Reason to go hit a nice restaurant 3 times a week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
She's saving businesses, though, too. At the same point.
That's what I said. It more is out of love and support.
Yeah.
You already know. Yeah.
She's been on the news. She's killing it.
Yeah, she's doing her thing.
I am not tapped in. I didn't know she.
You're
I thought this was like a world-renowned, like.
Bro, her man is Simon Legetsby. He's a pretty well-known local artist.
Okay.
He's doing his thing too. Like, the fact that they both are doing their own thing just shows you too that you can still do what you love with your people. You know what I mean? Whether
Right.
it's your significant other, whether it's your family or friends, as long as everyone's on the support level, that's really where it boils down to.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on around town. There's a lot of stuff going, and they live up north too. But it's just the fact that I really feel that we have already bridged that gap between Seattle and Tacoma. Now it's just a matter of taking those different bridges. Like what's like being in New York, man. There's like 14 different bridges.
Yeah,
to get to where you want to go.
Borough, yeah.
Each borough has a bridge, right? And that's kind of what it's done, is that we have our own borough of bridges, but now it's just a matter of making it a golden gate to where that's the only bridge you really go through, and you gotta cross paths with everyone.
Right. Yeah. No, I truly believe that. Like especially over the last like maybe 2 years, like that the love being shown, like us showing love to Seattle and Seattle showing love down here, and them sending their people down here to report, and us up there, like it's coming together. And between the two, there's a lot of talent. I've been saying that for a long time. So that's what.
Well, and everyone's switching places too. People from Tacoma are living in Seattle now.
Yeah.
People in Seattle are tired of living in Seattle, so they've moved down south a little bit more. So now you're really running into people on accident.
Right.
You know, so.
Small world is smaller.
Yeah. And it's going to keep getting smaller. All right, dude, I think I got to wrap this up. I got my son's birthday party, so I think
Tonight?
Yeah. Well, he don't have a birthday party, but it's his birthday. I got to get home to him.
This guy.
Yeah, we had 2 other parties this weekend.
Okay. So this is his 4th birthday party.
Yeah. He's been
having a birthday week.
Yeah, he's just kind of doing his own thing.
I spent all of April celebrating my birthday, so it's all good.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
This has been an episode of Tac'd In with Spencer P. My guest today was Cedric Pack. It's been a beautiful day.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, man, just thanks for having me. Shout out to the Post Office Studios. Shout out to ETC. everyone that obviously name dropped in the podcast today. But also just be on the lookout for some of the moves I'm making. I got my own stuff coming up as far as management and entertainment, and as well as just being able to start creating a little bit more of an experience for the people, especially with a lot of the stuff going on is phase 3, phase 1, all that stuff. If we can just get working on something to be consistent to where we don't even have to worry about that.
Right. So. Yeah, I think we're all looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Yeah, we'll put
Thanks.
all those tags down here in the show notes, and everybody stay tacked in.
Yeah.
Beautiful.